Greetings, everyone. It is the TonicMan, and I'm so happy to be here, and I'm glad you are there. And I hope we have a fuller house as the call goes along. I wanted to make sure that you all know this is, well, first of all, this call really is for all the new folks coming to the call for the first time, probably to get a feel of what's going on, the product, of course, the company, what we are ready to do to help out, and so on. And so the most important thing is for those new folks is to know that if you've noticed on the bottle, it says JC Tonic, the youth solution. And we do not talk enough about the youth solution. So in the disclaimer that you just heard that we play all the time and is written all over on every page on our website, we want everybody who looks at us, who wants to try this miraculous whole body preparation, to know that we're not making any claims that we're going to cure any of your health issues. This is not the purpose of the JC Tonic. The purpose of the JC Tonic is to make a better body, which then can handle its own problems. Remember, before you ever went to a doctor for any kind of an ailment, and even when you started to go for regular visits to have a checkup, and you were not ill, your body was looking after you. That's the reason you never had to have a medication or go to a hospital or have an operation. Your body was handling things. And as we get older, seemingly we're supposed to get wiser. Sometimes in the health department, we don't get as wise because we don't look after our bodies the way we should have. And when that happens, the body starts to break down a little bit more quickly. So in the first 20, 30, 40 years, your body is pretty strong and handles things. And then little by little, systems and organs and blood and so on start to get full of toxins and debris, and we're eating the wrong things, and it goes on and on. You all know the story. No point in talking to you about it, but you see on TV and a lot of products advertise that it's going to do this for you, it's going to do this for your organs, that if you have good nutrition, all your problems will disappear. Well, look, there are a lot of people that have good nutrition, and they have a much better quality of life, and they are healthier by and large, but little by little, the body still seems to break down, largely because the blood is starting to get cluttered with junk and debris and fat and grease and name it, and it's there. So the JC Tonic is really a catalyst to get the body to turn itself around and start doing things again that it used to do. And when it does that, you start to feel better all of a sudden. And the reason is because the body is now starting to go after and attack and fix the problem areas. So you will hear on our guest today a myriad of different health issues that miraculously have disappeared. Well, they didn't disappear because the JC Tonic made them disappear. It's the body that was able to start turning itself around. But those are stories that we have heard now for, let's see, what's 2021 less 1943? How's your math? Well, 1943 was when my dad first started to commercialize the preparation. And he had been working to get to that stage probably for 20 years. He started in 1922, largely trying to see if he could find something that would oxygenate himself, because he was well, not a professional, but he was an amateur mountain climber, and they went pretty high and in the Alps there in Austria, and he had a very serious shortage of breath one time, and he was losing his balance. And he was a strong fellow, and he was able to hang on. But he thought, if I fell, I'd pull everybody down with me. And so he set about to see what he could find in the plant kingdom, because that's what his studies were. He was studying agrobiology, the plant kingdom, and he thought he'd find something in plants. Well, that's how it all started, and that is a long, great, really remarkable story that I'm going to tell you another time. But suffice to say, but by 1940, he had his eureka moment, and in 1943, he couldn't afford to give it away any longer, so he started, asking for some money, and it turned into a rip-roaring business. In 1945, he formed a company, so it's basically been used since 1943 commercially. And folks, the stories are really not to be believed, like the one you're going to hear in a minute or two. What I wanted to get across to everybody, particularly the new people, but a lot of old members and users haven't really thought about it lately too much. It's a youth solution. We put that on the label years ago because indeed it is a youth solution. And that came to mind again to me this past week. I spoke to 2 or 3 other people who had been drinking this now for 30 plus years. And look, they act, younger, much younger than their 60 or 70 years of age. Their skin is younger, their attitude is younger, everything is younger. And indeed, this is a youth solution. If you start drinking it when you're younger, it'll keep you younger longer. In other words, you will grow old slower, more slowly. And with that said, that means that your body will break down less quickly. And with that said, that means that these health issues that people are getting starting in their 40s and 50s and 60s may only start in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe in the 70s and 80s. Look, I'm on the verge of being 84. I'm still doing this. I still don't take any systemic medications. I still have the energy of a far younger man. I'm very, very happy to tell you that not long ago, a week or 2 ago, I was with a few people, and one fellow said to a young lady, "How old do you think he is?" And she said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "Tell her." I said, "You tell her." He says, "No, you tell her." I said, "Okay, I'm going to be 84 in a couple of 3 months." She almost collapsed. She said, "I didn't think you were more than 65. And I gave her a hug and I said, "Wow, that's such a great compliment." And when the hug broke, she said, "You know what? I think you're only about 50. So look, everything you do is younger. You hug somebody, you hug them with strength. You look better. Everything gets better and better and better. So I want you to understand when you talk to people, you can tell them this is a youth solution. And we have before and after pictures. We're going to start doing more of those. And any of you that have those before and after pictures, send them in. We're going to put them on the website. Because as you know, and I've said many, many times, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And when you see somebody then and now, and they look 10, 20, 30 years younger, which some do, and some act that way, this is what you should be talking about to everybody. And why? Because that's all you hear. You only hear about people wanting to stay young. And they've tried everything. I mean, everything except JC Tonic, the youth solution. So on that note, folks, I'm going to introduce our wonderful, wonderful guest. And you are going to pick up a lot of great stuff here. I will not belabor it because there's plenty in there that's going to get you grab your attention, and you just absorb it all, and you'll see what I'm saying is exactly what's going on. All right? So let me get Carrie. Carrie, where are you? Well, and tonight we have a really great guest. Her name is Carrie, and I'm just going to let Carrie tell you everything she has to tell you about the JC. So, Carrie, take it away.
Well, I am from York, South Carolina. I am 67 years old. To really get down to it, I've only been taking tonic since, well, today is my fourth day. And, I was kind of skeptical because my cousin had told me about the product a couple years ago. And I said, well, and then my older brother, James Neal, which is, he reintroduced me. He was telling me how he was feeling, and he looked amazing to be 70 years old. And then my baby brother got some of the tonic, and he's worse than Jumping Jack Flash.
Wow. Is he up in the same age group as y'all?
Gary is 58, and he had several rotator cuff surgeries, and he was going through the motions of getting out of bed in the morning, and he had no energy, and he just called me, he'd be awake, and now we have these 5-hour conversations at night, which last till like 3 and 4 in the morning. I said, we got to get a life.
Because he's so full of energy.
He has so much energy now, and it's just great to, to see that. You can even hear it in his voice. And to get back to me, after, seeing what it was doing for them, I said, Carrie, you got to do this. So I purchased the product, and I only took half a dose when I got it because I wanted to see, what would happen with it first.
What was your state of health?
Oh, my God. Hypertension, fibromyalgia, arthritis. It was just not good. It took me a good 10 or 15 minutes to get out of bed in the morning because of pain.
That's the fibromyalgia, I guess?
Yes, and along with the arthritis. It was just bad because it seems like the older I get, the worse the condition gets. And I just wasn't living. I was going through the motions,
No quality of life.
None whatsoever. And it seems like I was more in a state of depression, because of the way, especially when I used to be so active. And then I took the tonic. Man, I said, whew, what's happening? It's like my nasal cavity opened up or something. And I said, what is this? Then a couple hours later.
You mean with the half dose you took?
Yes. And it just... And a couple of hours later, I said, what's happening to me? But it was a good feeling. But what was so crazy, I hadn't taken my medication when the mail came in. I got the product. So therefore, I said, it's 2 hours later. My blood pressure usually runs like 158 over 90 something. And I said, no, this can't be happening to me. After that first half dose, my blood pressure was 125 over 73.
Oh, come on. Oh.
120. I cried. I honestly cried. I didn't know. I said, no, come on, Carrie. We're just going to take it one day at a time, one step at a time.
You had not taken the blood pressure medication?
I haven't taken it since I took the tonic.
Wow.
And I have a blood pressure cup where I take, monitor myself to make sure I'm, okay.
Sure.
As far as the blood pressure. Well, it pretty much stayed the same. Next morning, I got up at 3:40 a.m. I didn't go to bed until 12 midnight.
Just raring to go.
I was good to go. So when I woke up, I thought it was later than, the time it was, but it wasn't. But I stayed up. I started piddling around through the house doing something. I vacuumed. I did this. I did that. Like, God, thank you. Thank you. Oh, my God, thank you. I was just so over myself. I was so elated. I had to call my brother.
Oh, hallelujah. Sure.
And shared what I was going through. And I even shared it with my son. I was telling him about it today. And I get emotional when I talk about it because it's like I have clarity now because I was at a point where when I would talk, I would lose my train of thought, and I forget what I was going to say. But God is my witness. I have clarity I haven't had since I was young.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, but I know for a fact it's the tonic. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. I feel like going places. I feel like doing things. I got out of the house. I got in my car and said, let's see what we can see. I put my mask on and I rolled down. It is this product. I'm sure, no two people's bodies are the same. But as far as my siblings and my first cousin, it has really changed our lives. It really has. And I'm also going to introduce it to my daughter because it's like the blinders are off now. I have more of an inner peace.
And just think, Carrie, how many people are in those same doldrums, and how this could help them exactly the same way. You mentioned no two bodies are the same. Well, actually, all our bodies are the same. They all are functioning at a different rhythm because of how we've abused them and how we don't look after them. But they all function the same way, and some people, it just takes a few ounces more to get to where you are in the first ounce. But if you can share it with your daughter and everybody else you know, they will all be feeling like you, elated and thankful for a new life.
Oh, my God, yes. There are several people that I can think of, my neighbors, who really need this. And I'm going to get with them and I'm going to share it with what I'm feeling. They know my situation, but I want them to feel what I feel. It is truly, truly amazing.
Well, you better take some videos when you're out dancing tonight and just let them look at the videos.
Have you been peeping through my walls? I've been dancing today.
No, I got the video on the phone though. I got all the videos.
Yeah, it's truly amazing.
That is really, really, really great news and a great story. Boy, oh boy. Do you also measure your blood sugar at home? Do you have a blood sugar problem?
No, I don't.
So you have fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, or hypertension, and arthritis.
And to put icing on the cake, I have congestive heart failure.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Wow. How's that feeling now?
I feel like a new human being.
Holy smokes.
Because, see, what so many people are unaware of, that don't really look into it, is that when you have too much excess fluid in your body, it basically, the heart can't handle it, and that's when it starts to shut down. And that's what causes it. And also, too, I was taking a, what they call a fluid pill to, make sure that my body doesn't build up with excess water. I haven't taken that either. I'm sorry?
They call them Lasix or something like that?
Yes, very good. That's exactly what it is. And I haven't done that either because the tonic does it for me. It alleviates that excess water. And you were talking about dancing. I have been dancing. I honestly have.
That is great.
Man, I can jitterbug to be an old woman.
Oh boy. Now you're giving your age away when you say you can jitterbug.
Well, hey, I'm proud to be 67 years old.
Oh, look, I'm 84. I'll be 84 in 2 months, and I have another thing wrong with me. I've been drinking this since I'm a youngster, and I've never even had a cold for 75 years. I mean, there is no question that this will make your body more youthful. It regenerates it. And you mentioned that the JC Tonic, got rid of the fluid. Well, it wasn't the JC Tonic, but it was the JC Tonic that is the catalyst to get the body to start doing things that it is supposed to do and no longer does. We all say, well, I'm growing old. That's why the body doesn't do what it used to do 20 years ago. But
you're only as old as you feel.
Well, that's it. And when you drink the JC, well, you get old slower. and it has a tremendous capacity to change body systems, and they start functioning better, and the body just starts cleaning up itself and getting better and better as time goes by. And if you think you feel good now, wait for a few months. It just gets better and better and better, you know.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I can honestly say I'm looking forward to the future.
Well, good. I'm glad that you discovered the JC, and I'm glad that you've had these wonderful results so quickly. Everybody gets the wonderful result. Some takes a little longer, but this is really exceptional, and we've heard it a few times before. As a matter of fact, there is a lady that started drinking this probably at least 20 years ago, who had fibromyalgia so badly she was in bed. I mean, and she couldn't do anything. As she said in her testimonial, she couldn't raise her arm to brush her hair, and couldn't go walk up the stairs, like always in pain. And in 5 days, she had no more pain. She said she was running up and down the stairs, brushing her hair, back to normal. I mean, she was so excited. It was amazing. But it happens to people like it's happened to you. Some people it's a little longer, and when you do share this with other people where it takes a little longer, encouragement is the byword. We have to just keep encouraging them to continue, because it'll kick in at some point, you know.
And also, I want to reiterate too is the fact that I'm on pain medication, but I haven't taken it in 4 days.
Holy smokes!
No,
that is really good. You have not needed pain medication in 4 days.
It has not been to the point that where I really needed it.
Yeah, that is really, really great news. Well, so you know what you can do. There's 300 million people out there just in this country that have pain, that have fibromyalgia, that have arthritis, that have everything you've got plus.
That is so true. I am so grateful to now have access to this product.
Well, I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful that you did discover it. And our big request to everybody is just pay it forward and tell as many people as you can, even if they rebuff you. A lot of people, I mean, people still laugh at me and they think I'm crazy when I talk to them about what this can do. But look, out of every 10 people, 2 people give it a try, and they have a new life, you know.
It is. To have a decent quality of life.
That's it. A decent quality of life. As you grow older into the sunset, you can keep smiling. You can still bend down and play with your children or grandchildren. You can do things, you can be self-sufficient, and you'll watch and see how much more it clarifies your thought process, your brain, your memory. It just gets better and better.
It's wonderful. Yeah, because I have 7 grandchildren and 1 in the oven.
Well, you know, Carrie, when my wife and I had children, she had already been drinking it for many years, continued drinking it. Started the babies with a drop or 2, really right on the nipple as they were breastfeeding, and then a drop or 2 in their bottles. And the pregnancy is better. The babies are quieter when they're young. They digest better. On and on and on. You know. So if you have one in the oven, get that young lady to start drinking it. She'll feel better. The child will be better. The delivery will be easier. It just goes on and on because the body is in better shape, you know.
I'll do that. Yeah, it's my daughter.
Above all, get all the grandchildren on it. They will have an easier time studying, concentrating, and all the rest of it. We have so many success stories of youngsters with ADH and all kinds of things. Once they get on the tonic, they get back to normal and they have a normal life again, you know. So start the children early, and they will have a lot to be thankful for, as they don't get sick at all or as often as they grow older, you know.
Awesome. That's great news.
So, my dear Carrie, thank you very, very much for being on the call. Please give us an update when things change again, as they will.
I most certainly will. I'll keep you informed.
And get all your family. Maybe we could have a family call one day, you and all of them on the call at the same time. Round them up, and we can hear everybody's story together and make it a family call. It'll be very helpful for everybody listening, all right?
That would be great.
Okay, I leave it to you to get organized. Call me when you're ready.
I most certainly will.
Thanks a lot, Carrie, and have yourself a grand rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
And so, folks, look at that. What can I say? There it is. JC Tonic strikes again. It'll happen for everyone. Just make sure you share it with everyone. Pay it forward. You see, their family got Carrie on it. Your family can do it. You can do it with your family. Strangers, the neighbor, everybody needs this. Everybody has some hurt somewhere, okay? So on that note, as we usually say, take an ounce and feel the bounce. Bye for now.
Urac Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and/or function of your body in various ways, but it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be rep everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Urac Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.